Hey everyone, Mars Jake8 here, bringing you some Shovel Knight. This is a game I recently purchased. Shamefully said, I should have picked this game up a long time ago because it is fun as hell. I'm enjoying this game fully, and my only regret is not picking up sooner. So if you haven't tried this game out, give it a shot. It definitely brings back, old school gaming feels like Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda. That's what I want to talk about today. Somebody at Nintendo has been throwing around the idea of having a Legend of Zelda with Link as a female, and I figured I would give my take on it. So a number of people in the comments said various different things. Some said that it would ruin Zelda by confusing players as to who Link was and who Zelda is. They're not going to get confused. I mean, if you call yourself a fan of Legend of Zelda and you don't know who Link and Zelda are, you're not really a fan. That's just the way it is. That's just basic knowledge as to who the characters are. And I don't think Link changing his gender is going to change that at all. Whether, you're the green tunic elf, whether you're male or female who's sent out to save Hyrule. Either way around. Uh, and others said that it would be a fuel for a feminist cause. Really, guys, I don't care about that. That's something that shouldn't even be an issue in the gaming community, but whatever. And someone said, what if they did that to Samus? That's an interesting point, and I'll talk about that next. Now, I want to start off right off the bat and say that I don't want to specifically play just as a female Link. I want to choose. I want to have the ability to choose between playing as a female Link and a male Link. I think that would fit perfectly in The Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda has always focused on Link as not as his own character, but as an extension of the player. Kind of like Pokemon and how they do it. It isn't so much your character. I mean, how many Pokemon games have you played where you actually know their character's name? Except maybe Red. Exactly. It's not about that character. It's about your experiences. You are that character. That's why you can name them. That's why you can, capture whatever Pokemon you want to capture and stuff like that. I feel like that same thing applies to Legend of Zelda, where it's not about, the character and the character's development. It's about the adventure. And that's why I feel like it would fit perfectly in Zelda. And that leads us to Samus. I know Samus is a silent protagonist who, really doesn't have a whole lot of character traits similar to Link. But if Samus was a guy, would people view her differently? In my eyes, yes, they would. And one of the key parts of Samus's characters, one of the crucial parts of her characters, was finding out that she was a female. People fell in love with her because of that. Not only is she this female, she's this badass space hunter. So if you take that away, you remove a part of what the fans originally fell in love with. Plus, with Samus, you're playing as the same person through each game as far as I know. With Link, you have more flexibility. Link is almost always never the same Link as the previous games. With that, you can have these little different changes to him, and you can have him change genders and stuff like that because he's a reincarnation, which, fits perfectly. So the ability to change his gender shouldn't be an issue, seeing as you're not really playing as the same Link as, the previous game. There's no real continuity there. I feel like Shovel Knight would actually apply perfectly to this because whereas, Shovel Knight has his characters, has his traits, you don't really know whether, call him a male, female. It doesn't really matter. That's not part of the game. It's more of experiencing the adventure. And that's the key part here is, experiencing the adventure no matter where you are because, everybody plays Legend of Zelda. Males, females, it doesn't matter. I've always wanted to have the ability to choose between a male Link and a female Link. I always felt like it would fit perfectly in that game. And I know there are people who disagree with that. I know that there are people who say that, Link should only be a male. And to them I say, why? Why? Why restrict just that? Why restrict the freedom the freedoms to the player? That to me is counterproductive. I say if you want a series to push forward, if you want a series to move on, have these choices. Have a player choose between whether a male Link or a female Link. Don't restrict it because there's no point in it. I mean, let's say this. If we had a Legend of Zelda game where the central focus was that Link was a female, I don't really think that I'd be too excited for it. I want a Legend of Zelda game where the central focus isn't on Link himself, but on the adventure itself. The adventure. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to be spending most of your time on. Sure, cool. Hey, Nintendo's doing something new where they make Link a female. Great. That's not going to change anything with the experiences of the adventure. That seems more like then it becomes more like a gimmick than, actual progression. No, give the players the ability to choose whether they can be a female version of Link or a male version of Link. And you have to have the female grunts too. You can't use the male grunts with the female Link. That ain't gonna fly. So yeah, what are you guys' opinions on this? Do you agree, disagree? Leave a comment down below. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you so feel like it. Thank you guys, and I love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Mars out.